Janelle Malloy, and I'm Janelle Malloy. I am the Director of Medical Physics in UK's Department of Radiation Medicine, and recently founder of Wild Dog Physics. So a year ago, I formed Wild Dog Physics because I had a medical device that I had invented. And I formed the company thinking that I would build and sell this device. But over the past year, what I've realized is that if we embed this device and the right business model, that we can disrupt how medical physics services are provided. So, cancer is an awful disease. But radiation treatments can help many patients to overcome this disease and improve their quality of life. Now, radiation is delivered with these machines, and they're complicated and they're dangerous. So clinics hire medical physicists in order to make sure that these machines are doing what they're supposed to be doing. Now, we're very expensive and we're scarce. So literally, this is all of the equipment that we need to set up to only do part of the measurements that we need to take. And it's time consuming and it's expensive. And part of the problem then is that clinics have trouble providing medical physics services, especially to remote clinics in rural populations. We see this in our clinic all of the time. A lot of our patients have to drive 2, 3, 4 hours a day for weeks, and this really limits access to care. So, what's our value proposition? So, for any clinic, large or small, we are going to greatly reduce the cost of providing medical physics services. A side effect of this is that we're going to be able to increase access to advanced cancer care in rural communities. So, I've talked to a lot of my colleagues around the country. Some of these are medical physicists that service rural communities, and some of these are directors at major cancer centers. And they all agree that this is an important problem and that we have a good solution. In fact, these medical physicists are on board with being some of our early adopters and helping us out with development. So, we have a total addressable market of $825 million. And we are projecting to have annual revenues of $50 million. Now, we're going to sell to customers via a subscription model. So, if a clinic buys our service, what you're going to get is this proprietary device, and also they're going to get site-specific, customized data collection protocols, along with remote review and approval capabilities. And what this means is that these treatments for these patients are going to be safer, and it's going to reduce risk for these clinics. So, we have our go-to-market strategy. It includes starting out in veterinary clinics while we work on getting our FDA clearance. One of the real benefits of doing this in Kentucky and in our situation is that a lot of this early development can be done in our own clinic here at UK. And so that's really going to jumpstart getting this project launched. We are going to have high gross profits, and we are looking at achieving what we think is going to be 20% of market share. Okay. So it's been a busy year, very busy year. I'm going to start at the end here. Recently we hired our first employee. John's out there. Hey. We got some lab space over in Aztec, and we are putting together our first prototype. So one of the real things that I'm just so fortunate is that I am surrounded on this team with talent. We have PhD medical physicists, we have engineers, and we have people with business experience. Okay. I want to thank all of our advisors and mentors. You guys know who you are, and your pictures are up there, so I'm very grateful. Thank you very much. I just want to say that it doesn't surprise me at all that Lexington was listed as being a great entrepreneurial community, because I felt this. It's vibrant, it's inspiring, and thank you. And so I'm guessing that we have a lot of wildcats here in the audience, but I think that Lexington can maybe make a little bit of room for a wild dog. Thank you.
Dr. Malloy, first of all, I have someone I'd like you to talk to afterwards. And then second, what is the cost to establish the process or the service? What's the cost to get a remote location started?
Okay, so the way we're going to start our company is obviously we need to develop this device, and that's going to be our startup costs. So we are going to start by kind of assigning on clinics and providing their medical physics services the old-fashioned way. We're going to drive back and forth, and we're going to take all of the data with all that big clunky equipment. And at the same time, we're going to be bringing our prototypes along and developing the device there. Now, medical physicists get paid a lot of money to do these things, and so for that reason, I think that our company is actually going to be able to start out fairly profitable or just not lose that much money. The cost to provide all these services per year is about $165,000.
I'm not sure if I understood you correctly, but you said your first lab is at UK.
Yeah.
Kind of leading off that, a lot of pharmaceutical medical things that start in a university. The university then owns a share of the company or the IP, and obviously that's important to investors. Is this company completely owned by the founders, or does UK have an interest in the IP or a share of the company or anything like that?
Yeah, absolutely. That's an excellent question. So there's no question that UK owns the IP, and they have just indicated that they have interest in protecting that IP. And so we are applying for a provisional patent pretty much as we speak. And the plan then is that Wild Dog Physics will license that technology from UK. It's also another good point that you raised, because there are potential conflicts of interest, but a lot of the early development is going to be done because between UK and Wild Dog, we have a lot of shared motivation. And so we have the whole thing is going to be a win-win for everybody.
Other questions?